Hello, Andrey.
Hello, Gennady.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you my new guest. Well, actually, he is not a guest. I'm guest here because we're doing that in his artistic studio with the smell of paint and paint brushes all over the place and paintings. But Andrey is the leading, I would say, leading artist in academic drawing for sure in the world. Because when I saw his drawings, I thought it's El Greco or someone really old masters, and it was his works. Andrey is a member of several wonderful institutions. One of them is the American Association of Portrait Painters. You're a member of Russian Union of Artists. Andrey's work are displayed in numerous galleries around the world, from Shanghai, China, Los Angeles, New York, Hungary, Russia, Ukraine, France, England. And another kind of thing I'd like to mention is that judging by the value at the auctions, and if you don't mind I say that, I know that it's not the ultimate kind of decision on the quality of paintings, but still, monetary value is important. Then judging by the auctions reports, some of your paintings were sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's really kind of shows something. Andrey is known, he's got a nickname as termin artist, which has never came across before, and you'll explain what does it mean. Andrey is a bodybuilder, as you can see, and that's, for me, it's again something like an incredible combination. It's like pianist and bodybuilder, or artist and bodybuilder. For me, it's something which usually do not go hand in hand. It's something which is like almost opposite. But that's what we have, and I hope Andrey will tell us more. How does it come, to happen that he's got so different qualities and so different interests? And I'd like to start with asking you about your world philosophy, your views on the world, where does your creativity come from, and a little bit about your life, please.
Oh, Gennady, thank you very much for this fantastic introduction. It's a big honor for me to be your guest or to invite you here, how to say more exactly. And well, this is nice questions. Sure, my nickname is a termin artist. This is a hybrid of two words, the Terminator and artist. For most of people, this combination is incomprehensible. It cannot be fit to each other, cannot go hand by hand. The fine art and bodybuilding. But let's look to ancient Greek history. Besides the brilliant sculpture, there live us one kind of philosophy which calls kalokagatia. This philosophic idea means unity of body, mind and soul perfection. Body, mind and soul development. Only these three parts together can make perfect human. So actually in my worldview, on my creative and lifestyle philosophy, I follow this idea. You know, in ancient Greece, it was the same disgraceful to be flabby as to be stupid. And they are concerned that a perfect spirit cannot live in a perfect vessel or something like that.
Perfect body, right. And it's interesting that because you're a bodybuilder, so you know the muscles, right? You know the even teeny weeny tiny muscles in your body, and that helps you to draw, I think. Because the paintings of naked bodies, which I saw in your gallery, is really fantastic. I mean, it's really like, anatomic, drawings for medical students. So precise.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. This is true. By the way, during my study in Russian Imperial Art Academy, this is in St. Petersburg, now it calls Repin's Institute, but it was established almost 300 years ago. The anatomy, but the plastic anatomy, is not medical. We don't study the tissue or blood vessel, but we study bones, we study muscle, what kind of influence it makes for plastic, for movement or portrait characters. It was very seriously. I remember how we tried to pass this anatomy examination 3, 4, 5 times, and I remember how I talk about how many muscles moving the eyes, and it's really helped me. So because I start my can say sport career or like this when I have been 15, and 10 years later in art academy it helps me very much.
It's interesting when, for example, I know a lot of people thinking that, well, I won't need it in life. I don't need mathematics in my life, or I don't need something, and you never know. In which period of your life all the things can come together and help you to understand the reality or to be professionally more efficient more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that, and again, it's maybe naive questions, but I know a lot of artists have got different periods in their life. We know, like, Salvador Dali, they have different, Van Gogh, etc., different periods. What about you? Do you have something like that when you can say, like, a mark? I was doing this, and then I switched into that, and etc., etc. Can you tell us about your progression as an artist?
Oh, it's a very good question, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I start my art career pretty unusually because firstly I study in Transcarpathian College of Applied Art. This is a can say craft. Those time, even before Soviet Union disintegration, even this word design does not exist those time. And we was some experimental department. This is like, how to say, pre-design department. So we are studying like some kind of exterior, how to decorate, and interior, and oil painting, and graphic, or like this. And 4 years I studied abstract art. as usual, on contrary, the
4 years?
Yeah, for 4 years I studied abstract.
Isn't that enough to have 1 day of tuition?
The latter I understand, so actually it's enough a few days for do that.
I'm sorry.
But,
it's like,
absolutely.
It's a question which probably provokes a lot of
No,
bad reaction.
No, I absolutely agree. And those time we were young artists and we treat each other like a young Picasso or Dali. And this word, realism, it was curse. It was a bad word. Even shouldn't speak about that.
What period we're talking about?
I talk about from 1990 till 1994, right. So something like that. But those time, I felt that some kind of inner rebelling brew inside of me, or like this. I feel that so abstract art is some unresponsible, is not serious. And more and more I start to love a realistic art, and this dream to enter to Russian Art Academy grow up in my soul. And after graduation of the college, the Lvov Art Academy offered me to be accepted without enter exams.
Just based on your work?
Yes, because I have the best graduation work, best degree work, and I refuse, and I moved to St. Petersburg, and I tried to enter to this academy, which I treat as a real academy, or only one is a word, or like this. And I spent 4 years for do that. Only after 4 years, I passed this examination, and it was a period of study like we talked before, is anatomy and perspective and light and construction and lots of things. And those time I treat as a top of art. This is a small Dutch painting. It's in Hermitage. I spent a lot of hours in Hermitage, in Hall of Dutch painting especially.
Do you have to have permission to do that? I mean, to copy or no?
Oh, actually, it's hard to get. It's hard to get. Those time, even before I enter, one of my elder comrades, or like this, he gave me his pass permission, or like this. So I went, and those time I didn't copy, but I even use a lens, and I have looked patiently how it was done, how it possible, and
so magnifying glass, I mean, you
yes,
were looking at it.
yeah, like that.
I would suspect that you want to copy it and sell it.
Yes. The latter I have do this, but a bit later. But by the way, not in Hermitage, but in State Russian Museum. When I studied as a third course, Academy officially give us permission to copy in museum. And I choose incredible art piece which calls the Gladiators Before Out Part into Arena by Stefan Bakalovich. By the way, this technique, it was very interesting for me, and this topic was very interesting.
And you were already doing bodybuilding at that time?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it obviously resonates.
Absolutely resonates. Yeah. So this during academic period, I almost quit this workout. Just very seldom I did that. But when I saw this incredible artwork with a gladiator and some Roman ladies touch his muscle and do some bets before fighting or like this, and the technique was incredible and the topic was incredible. But the latter, I have interested more for this kind of painting when artists capture the spectators' love and spectators' appreciation, not by the patience, but by virtuosity, some white brush stroke and something like this, like a Fashion, Malyavin, Arhipov. And I turn from some patient, delicate painting to more wide,
More wider.
yes, more widely, more brave, more bold painting.
Like Miro, when I saw a big painting with a brush, and that's it.
Something like this, but it is not. But the goal is not abstract, but do this white, bold brushstroke for do some realistic art.
It's interesting because all of us, I don't know, myself including, I was trying to experiment with the paintings, and I thought abstract paintings, it's so easy. I mean, just do it, and then I realized it's not, because you have to have still understanding of colors and light and balance. But what you're saying, that you have to have still classical education. I've read somewhere that you cannot call yourself an artist if you don't know how to draw a human being. So it doesn't matter if you're a surrealistic painter, but you have to know how to do classical thing. That's what your background basically, right? In classical, academic.
Yeah. Actually, my own opinion, you should study. You should have academical training, academical school. Like Salvador Dali say, at first you need to study how to draw and paint like old masters, and then you can do whatever you want, and everyone will respect you, and you will able to express each of your creative idea with absolutely freedom, or like this. Yes, so this why I'm so glad, and I'm so proud that I graduated from Russian Art Academy. This is a most famous academy who keep this, how to say, in good position, conservativity, and like from Repin, Brylov till modern time. They keep this school.
So it's called realism, right?
Yeah.
And now you are practicing, as far as my understanding, humble understanding of your kind of styles. You are doing something which is called contemporary realism or modern realism. Is there a big difference between the realism of the past and realism, because those figures and they are real, right? And so what is the difference?
Oh, great. As I said, I always dreamed to be involved in realistic art, but then I find that, you got the school, you got the knowledges, but what you would like express with these knowledges, with this school, and to paint some topic from Holy Bible, it's suitable for old masters, but I'm living in our 21st century, right? And I would like to express what is most interesting for me. And I start to express some idea what is most interesting for me. For example, this is two pieces from the series which calls Titan of Titanic.
And this is called contemporary realism.
Yeah, actually yes. So when you express some contemporary topic, contemporary theme by the old master style, old masters.
So it's kind of realistic in details, but not really realistic in the whole composition. So it's not photographic sort of thing, but it's photography, but plus something else.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, the realism is pretty wide meaning. So because
I know social realism pretty well. I mean, so that was
by the way, this is incredible sample. Yes, social realism. It's a top of Soviet school of painting at all, absolutely.
If you take the political side.
Absolutely.
The paintings themselves were absolutely.
Yeah, but by the way, I think that every epoch, every age has their own gods and heroes. The ancient Greek has Zeus and Hercules, but the Soviet era has the Lenin or Marx or something like this. It's not bad.
Because it was officially. Obviously, there were no realistic pictures of Gulag Archipelago. So there were usually happy, collective farmers doing this type of thing. No matter how wonderfully made, still it was politically influenced, right? By the
actually yes, but I guess every country's art has political or religion or I could say ideology influence.
Right.
Yeah,
I fully agree.
Yeah. But by the way, like socialist ideology, in people's mind, it was almost the same like religion ideology of like 16th century or like that. So like if before the royal government or church, there was a customer for painter, the mostly. But in Soviet time, Communist Party
was a customer.
Something like this. Yeah, but now, you can express. Actually, the realistic is a wide meaning. Surrealism is a branch of realism. Hyperrealism is a branch of realism. Like mystic realism is a branch of realism, and lots of ism. When artist depicts recognizable, I don't know, person or subject or like this. Actually, it's realistic.
Yes, but in some unrealistic manner, because you can hardly imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger holding a leg. Well, actually you can, but obviously it resembles Madonna with the Christ, right?
Yeah, actually.
Or Trafalgar Square, the soldier with the saved German daughter. Girl.
But by the way, is a good. Your compare is very good. By the way, it was idea to paint the sword, but I refused. Finally, I decided it could be so funny or like this. Lots of mixed things. Maybe it's it's too much. But actually, about that, in postmodernism, it's accepted to talk about serious things with some not too serious manner. And for example, here we can see the Raphael 16th Madonna, but Madonna with a small Christ replaced to Arnold with Alyssa Milano.
But you understand that you're walking on the very thin ice, because you can hurt people's feelings, and you can get a lot of criticism for drawing these parallels between Madonna and Arnold, and you know what I mean. How comfortable you are about doing that?
Probably my struggle against of hypocrisy. So okay, let's look into ancient or medieval art. They don't do some very special things, like a Bosch, for example.
Which
they mixed lots of things, like some Holy Bible persons with, I don't know, devils, with the peasants or whatever. And now, I guess, lots of hypocrisy.
And actually, he was criticized in his time, as far as I remember. Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah, probably, but finally he became classic.
Yes, they were thinking that he is crazy.
About criticism, like Eiffel Tower, it was criticized, deadly criticized, but now it's a symbol of Paris, right? Yeah, and for example,
so you have to wait a little bit then.
Yes, just could wait. And actually, I couldn't touch or abuse some believers' feeling or like that. But on contrary, I would express that some values of modern age. It comes from Hollywood screen, the mostly, and I'm a bit joking. Like here's Arnold
and his wife, right?
Yes. Actually, this is a bit how to say. At all, I probably start some kind of style which can call philosophical Arnoldism, something like that.
Something like that? No. So it's your invention.
Yeah. So this is my joke.
Tell me artist as well.
Yeah.
Never came across this.
Like this is a hybrid. Yeah, because in total, my idea is that it was a great epoch of heroes, which started from ancient Greek mythology, from Roman gladiators till now. Hollywood heroes is the end of hero epoch, and one of the last hero for me is Schwarzenegger. By the way, I can't understand why this last action hero movie it's treated like banana movie like this. You know, for Russians, it's a good sample. It's like a symbolic. Yeah, and here it's like joking or kidding or a bit serious. You know, like.
But with a lot of respect still,
yes,
right?
Yes,
because it's obviously you're glamorizing him not for the sake of making fun out of him, but actually showing that he is a hero. He's a true hero.
Yes, and with respect, I do this with respect to classic art, with respect to believers, with respect to faith, and with
respect to your own kind of perception.
Yes.
Because I know that you're very fond of Arnold, and I know that you consider him to be really not just an actor, but as a human being. And you've read everything, and I can see books, and the Total Recall, and etc. So it's like you are very, very knowledgeable about his life.
Yeah, absolutely. So I treat him like a last hero of this heroic epoch. Yeah, and here he brings his this value, contemporary value, from a big Hollywood screen. And actually this is not bad value, but this is contemporary. So this I turn this Raphael's Madonna to contemporary conception and to my from my perception personally. Something like this. Yeah, and here is Arnold's wife Maria Shriver, and here this is a Joe Wader who exactly invited him to America. And he's a founder of bodybuilding association. And here it's Arnold's children's is Patrick, Catherine, Christopher, Christine, and Joseph. So like this.
Yeah, amazing. So I know that there is a museum in Vienna, yes, in Austria, and I think they could purchase it because I think it's wonderful. Would be addition to, to those who admire Arnold.
Oh, thank you. By the way, about museum, this my project, which called Titan of Titanic, it contains about 20 art pieces, and it was idea to show this project about the hero epoch end. And this title is reference to Titans who ventured to challenge the Kronos, their father, and they rebelled against of their father. And another reference is to title of greatest steamboat, Titanic, which was treated as unsinkable, but finally it was drowned at the open sea. And this this project I would like to show around the world in the biggest art museum or like this, but I would like to start from very symbolical place, a small museum. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger Museum in Baobab Cross, which have nothing connection with art galleries or like this, but this is a symbolic place. And by the way, we have negotiation during 2 years with this museum management, and especially thanks for Peter Urdl, founder of this museum, who support me very much. And finally I got the permission, but this business was stopped because we are still now waiting of Schwarzenegger permission personally. So he must sign, he's agreed. By the way, he saw my significant artwork from this era, which called Sisyphus. This artwork especially express humans being in consumer epoch, consumer era. And this Sisyphus, it's Arnold's back depicted with a big stone. He rolling this big stone in which artifacts of this consumer era imprinted, and he rolling this stone to top of glamour, and there is some statuette of Oscar and Liberty statue at this top, and Arnold have seen this artwork, and even he signed like something like I think yes. This artist is good, but I would like to see another artworks. But then he keeps silence, and I mentioned to make this tourney all like this, and now I'm negotiating with some Austrian gallery and American gallery. Finally, I would like to finish this tourney in Getty Museum or like this. I know maybe this is a crazy dream, but why not?
Who knows, right? Well, you know that I had some experience with Arnold in my past, and then I brought him, to Kiev, and inshallah, fingers crossed, he's going to be on my show as well, sometimes by the end of this year.
I wish you that.
Yes, and so I don't know if I can contribute, because he's got so many people, really incredible. Thousands and thousands of people who surrounds him, and so it's difficult to get to the body, difficult to get to Arnie. But I think, if you'd see it, and if he knows your devotion to the topic, I think he would be pleased and sympathetic and kind, and because he's a very kind man and very, very down to earth. Yeah.
I hope so. Because when we wait until his decision, I already have a lots of thinking like. Maybe he refused why something went wrong. What's wrong? For example, one of my painting is carrying the Baobab Cross. Is depicted Arnold. By the way, there's also some postmodernic painting which express the idea, Bible idea that everyone will carrying his own cross.
In burden of
yeah. And in this painting, I took some capturing from Commando movie, but this wooden log changed to the cross, and I depicted some kind of staircase or ladder where some small guys climbing. What I would like to express this Baobab Cross. Why Baobab Cross? Because until now, in Amazonia or somewhere like that, some native tribes make their building, can say, inside of this big baobab until now, and I comparing like who is this significant personalities of our centuries, who they are. It's like just the idols, rich and famous idols, or they're like a bodhisattvas who voluntarily make a step to samsara again for help us to grow up. And I guess for a lot of people, these personalities, it's like some conceptual or psychology shelters, and they are climbing to grow up at the same level. And who is this human who make this shelter, and who is this human who hiding inside of this in this shelter?
Well, what I can say that I think it's yes. Once you explain, everything seems to be clear. But we live in a very politically correct, time, and I think it's one of probably your kind of obstacles that there are so many people who are afraid on stepping on other people's toes. Just because they don't do that, and you can never discuss sometimes very serious issues because you're afraid of being accused or labeled by racist or whatever, or You know, and I think this is wrong, because that's your perception, and once you explain, it's a wonderful allegory, it's fantastic. I mean, so, which everybody should be, you know, happy about. There is nothing provocative, nothing, you know, offensive in your work. So, but yeah, it's kind of a shame, and hopefully you'll break this wall, because really I wish you all the best, because I think you're a wonderful artist. You are incredible, and for me, you know, in my life I know maybe 2 or 3 people who can paint and who can, you know, paint and humans, and I think you are definitely one of the best. And as I said, when I first saw your paintings, I thought, well, that's incredible. And the guy is actually living in a small, you know, Transcarpathian town. My question, which, you know, a lot of people ask me what I'm doing here, I'm asking you now. Why Uzhgorod? Why, you know, what you found here? And you are staying here for quite a while already, right?
Oh, this is great, because I also have the same question to you. Look, I guess even our conversation is a very good sample of globalization. Two Russians met in small Transcarpathian city and speaking English. And I guess, you know, yeah, when I grow up in my childhood and teenage, I dreamed to traveling around the world and finally to emigrate to United States. Yeah, because for most of all Soviet kids, United States till now accepted like a land of opportunity, unlimited opportunity like this. And I did a lot of things. So I used to work in China. I held lots of significant exhibitions in Shanghai, Beijing, in National Museum of Holland, Russia. By the way, recently United States Californian Museum of Russian Art, museum is not gallery, they bought a series of my nude painting, and I used to live at lots of cities and at lots of countries, and how it's happened that I stay here. I would like to make some restart after my Chinese period, and just to have some rest and renew my my power, my worldview, like this. And I find that now the world it changed so much. You know about globalization. If during Soviet Union period we can see the other world only from some small hole in Iron Curtain, and this Iron Curtain raised and closed so quickly, and we dreamed about unlimited freedom. You know, by the way, there is one of my art pieces is Nevada self-portrait. By the way, now it's in Schwarzenegger Museum collection. Is depicted Arnold near some old Corvette car in Nevada desert, and it was symbolically. So we had this symbol of freedom, but now this American globalization was delivered to every house personally. So we have this bubble gum, we have these jeans. You know, when I grew up, the jeans, it was like something, I don't know, like a personal yacht or personal aircraft today, so something like that.
Monthly salary usually.
Yeah, much more, I guess, much more. And Hollywood movie was forbidden. Yes, it was some contraband VHC when we're watching in some secret places. But now time changed too much, and this globalization, now we're living in information space. So we can connect with the friends, with galleries, with a museum around the world just by 1 second. And also I find that my dream, it was America of 80s. And I'm afraid now this country does not exist anymore. And it's like for people who dream to live in USSR, now it's impossible to find that. You know? And I'm missing that naive, pure naive time, and this some kind of purity, some kind of positive naivety I find exactly here in small Transcarpathian town. For me this is some kind of downshifting, yeah, but some normal people do this in Bali or Thailand or Goa or like this, and I find this Transcarpathian.
And that's very different cultures. I mean, I've been in those places, and it's really, it's different cultures. And here you, among, you know, Ukrainian, Russian-speaking people, and the culture-wise, it's the same. And a lot of people feel the same like you do, and so that's probably natural choice. I feel very comfortable here. I mean, of course, there are a lot of things which I would like to be changed, but basically, in human relationship, there are a lot of really good people, and you can get maybe your inspiration, because that's what you need. I think you need some, you know, fire. You need some, and again, my humble understanding, because a lot of artists, they are inspired by something or someone, and I think you have you're looking maybe for this inspiration to start maybe new chapter in your life as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. For to be successful as an artist in your creativity, you should absorb. You should absorbing some impression, and he is very good place for creating. It's very good place.
Nature, fantastic.
Nature, air. It's you are not stressed. Like in a big city, every day you are under stress influence. You have some kind of fast life. You feel this pressure every day. Here you feel relaxed.
I used to give this example that in London, for example, when inviting somebody for a coffee, I used to say, let's see each other on March 24th, you know, at 4 o'clock, and that like several months in advance. And that's true story. It's like in here, hey, let's go for a coffee. Let's go for a coffee. And I think stress-wise, absolutely uncomparable. Of course, we can, you know, stress usually comes from within. You can be stressed on, you know, about a lot of things, small things. But overall, I think it's like pace of life is incomparably slower, and I think quality of life is incomparably better than what you can find in large megapolises. And no matter how much they can offer, people usually do not have time to enjoy those museums, etc. So it's better maybe twice a year or 3 times a year, go abroad and enjoy it, and then come back in your retreat and then relax. So that's my kind of understanding of a man who is more than 60. So it's like for young people, I would suggest you go out, you know, go and fight. What you would do if you wouldn't be yourself? I mean, what are the options in life which you feel you missed? What you would do apart from being an artist?
I couldn't say missed. Okay, if I couldn't be an artist, what I have interesting for, maybe the first is literature. Yeah, it's literature. When I have a child, I used to write some stories, and when I study in school, we have this task to write some story with some special topic or like this, and my stories always was the best, and teacher read my stories before all of the classes or like this, and then I tried to write some kind of fantasy or like this, some like skins fantastic stories. Yeah, it was very interesting for me. But actually, how to study art, me and my parents understand, but how to study writing, it was unclear for those time, and I went to young artist school, so like this, And what I would like to be, for example, I love cinematography very much. Yes. So, for example, even now I'm a little bit study screenplays, script writing. I'm reading the book. I try to understand the conception of this dramaturgy or like this, and this is very interesting for me. For me, it's the movie is most synthetic art. It's like a fine art. It's theater. It's literature together. So and. Maybe, who knows, maybe I will continue
exactly.
in
so
this.
When I said the word what you miss, but you don't, because you can start writing at any point in your life. And in fact, the posts which I've read, you know, on our Facebook are fantastic. I mean, you have really very good command of the language and very powerful words. And I think, yes, I think I would do it. I would do it, you know. I would do it because that's something what I would like to do. I've written a couple of books myself, but they're on kind of more professional topic like transformation, economy, etc. But I want to write something sexy, something inspiring, interesting for more people. Yeah, wonderful. Anything else you'd like me to ask you? Because you're really, I think, you're a really incredible personality, and I'm so honored that I know you and that I'm sitting here. And for me, it's always like something which I can never do. And I know, I admit that. No matter how hard I would be taught and learned, I mean, I can never paint. But so in your case, really, you are a combination of wonderful qualities, and the products are pretty clear, and that it's a good pieces of art.
So thank you very much about the question. You know, as usual, the most of interviewers asking me which person you would like to have a dinner, the past or present?
Good question.
Yes, yes. I remember.
I know the answer probably. Arnold and his family.
Yes, if we're talking about our contemporary time, this absolutely. So in past, I would like to have a dinner with some I don't know, Jan Vermeer or Rubens or Jan van Eyck. Why? It's not some exact question, but I would like to feel that mentality of people of spiritual age, something like that. They mentioned differently, absolutely. And yeah, about our modern time, you know, like each of movie director. By the way, you are sitting. Your background is James Cameron. Wow. This is one of my idols, or I don't know, could say my favorite characters too, because his movie make epoch. You know, for example, the Terminator. I love this movie not just because it's a fantastic thriller, but this is prophecy. Cameron was a prophet because he predicted this war between artificial intelligence and human intellect.
I hope he is wrong.
Yes, yeah, but by the way, this is my set of painting, Titanic, all about this war already started. But this war going on not by some unmanned aircraft or cyborgs, but some gadgets, computer, cell phones.
Or people losing jobs.
Yes,
replaced by some.
Yes. People. Yes, people losing jobs, but the most problems are people's losing their own intelligence, their own mind. They are storing to somewhere like internet or like this. So so yes, like if to talk about my like favorite and most inspirable, or how to say, person of this age, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Cameron. By the way, he did his single diving in
with my daughter, we actually was
Marian Trench. Yes,
10,000
Meter,
kilometers.
yeah,
Meters, sorry.
yeah. 11 kilometer like single in the small batiscaf. He do this, and
That's why his eyes.
yes,
his eyes.
in his eyes, like this. Yeah, and as every director has his favorite actors who are crossing from movie to movie, I also have my favorite character who express my creative idea. Like for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger especially. And of course, I would like to meet him personally to ask him, like in Terminator, what's wrong with the pictures or what's wrong with the permission.
No, you don't talk about that. When I had a dinner with him, and I enjoyed just eating, and we were talking about families.
Yes,
I was talking about my kids, and he was talking about his. So that was the connecting thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not about some like some global question, but I really would like to talk with this person and understand, to try to understand what is in his mind. And by the way, as I saw, he has incredible humor sense and to joking and to talking and try to catch this aura, I could say, like this perception, its aura, his mood, and something like this.
It's interesting when when he was in Kiev, people were referring him as this, artificial intelligence and future of mankind. And there was a question from one of the journalists, and he said, "What do you think will happen 20 years from now? How you'd feel?" And he said, "Hey guys, I'm so happy. I probably won't be around, 20 years from now." And people laughed. And so he's really down to earth, very nice person. And I think it's great that you've chosen him as your sort of role model in a way. I think.
Yeah. His way of life. I'm not professional bodybuilder, but in my teenage, I would like to be. Yes. 2 times I took part in international bodybuilding competition, and both of time I won the 2nd place, and it was my great love. Yeah, because every time when I touch the barbell or like this, I feel like I touch my dream. I touch some tools of perfection or like this, and even some of my creative idea comes to me under this endorphin influence when I getting during this workout time.
It's interesting. So you could do your workout and then start painting immediately.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's where you have adrenaline running.
Yeah.